Hello, thank you for clicking on our link on information regarding Mississippi Domestic Abuse Protection Order assistance. I'm going to share my screen with you really quick so you can see what it looks like to access the forms on our website. This is our homepage at www.carelodge.com, and as you scroll down, you'll see our mission followed by things that we offer. The fifth bullet point down is the Domestic Abuse Protection Order assistance. You will click on that link and be redirected to this page. There are three main links available on this page. The one below is petition instructions. This will help walk you through step by step the entire document and how to answer each question. The one above it, ex parte emergency domestic abuse protection order, you may want to print that out and have it ready when you have your appointment with court, but you may not have to fill it out ahead of time, depending on the court that you're filing at. For today's purposes, we're going to click on Domestic Abuse Protection Order Petition. You'll be redirected to another tab to an 8-page document that's PDF. You'll need to print this out in order to complete it, but I'm going to step you through page by page. This information at the top will be different depending on where you're filing. For our purposes today, we're going to choose Meridian, Mississippi, which is in Lauderdale County. So we will put County, Lauderdale. Your full name will be printed here, followed by the printed name of the person you're filing against. As you look down, you will see it says Petitioner Requests Emergency Relief. You are the person filling out this document. So if you are needing protection, you'll indicate yes here, and you will check this box here as petitioner or self. Next, you will note your name. Put your last name, first name, and then middle name. To the right, you will see date of birth, and you'll need to use a 2-digit month, 2-digit day, and 4-digit year. Your demographic information is followed down below. And then this next section is dedicated to if you are filing in behalf of a minor or someone who is not able to complete this form on their own. You will put their name here, their birthday, and their demographic information. If it's more than one person, you can use supplemental form number 1 that is given later in this document. But check this box if more than yourself and one minor or a person that is incompetent needs protection. Section B is dedicated to people needing protection inside your household. Perhaps this is a sister or a brother or a mother or a father. If it's more than 2 people, you can use supplemental form number 1 and indicate the additional people there. Paragraph 2 is in reference to address confidentiality. What that means is the court needs to be able to know how to get in touch with you and send you legal documents. But if you wish for this information to be kept secret from the abuser or the person you're filing against, you will need to indicate that here by selecting yes and using supplemental form number 2 to list your information there. Paragraph 3 is important because you have to distinguish where the abuse is taking place versus where the abuser or respondent is living. So for our purposes, we're going to say that the abuse is taking place in Meridian, Lauderdale, Mississippi. However, the abuser may live in Quitman, Clark County, Mississippi. On the next page, you'll see paragraph 4. This section is dedicated mainly to the respondent or the person you're filing against. Again, you're going to print their name, last, first, middle, followed by their date of birth, the same as you did yours earlier. Now, there's a lot of questions in this section like social security number or driver's license number. If you're not sure what those numbers are, you can leave this area blank. But fill it out to the best of your ability, and that will help the court be able to identify the person you're trying to file against. In this section titled Aliases, you will need to indicate any kind of name that the person you're filing against goes by. Are they commonly referred to as their middle name or their first name? Do they have a street name that they're known by? Indicate all those names right here on the line below. Distinguishing features represents anything like a tattoo, a birthmark, or a scar that could help the court identify what the person looks like. Caution and conditions You can mark anything here that has to do with the health and history of the abuser. Are they known to abuse alcohol? Do they have allergies or a heart condition? Are they armed and dangerous? This one can be tricky because I think a lot of us may think that it relates to like a robber with a gun. But if someone has access to weapons, especially firearms, and they are angry or upset at you, this could be considered armed and dangerous. Are they known to abuse drugs? Do they have diabetes or do they have seizures? Do you feel like they may run or hide from the police as to not get served the protection order? You can select any that apply here. Also, if there's anything in addition that's not listed here that you think the court or law enforcement needs to know about the person you're filing against, indicate that here on this line. Scrolling down, you'll see paragraph number 5. Select everything here that has occurred between the relationship of you and the person who you're filing against. The first selection indicates any attempt or cause of harm to you by this person. The second one indicates that they have threatened you or caused you to feel like your life was in danger. I want to pay special attention to this last one here, sexual battery or rape. This can also occur within intimate relationships such as engagement or being married. Paragraph 6 is your opportunity to let the judge understand what you have been going through. It's the who, what, where, and when of the abuse that's taken place. And it's your chance to let the judge understand why you are afraid of this person. Now, some people say, well, I'm not afraid of them. I'll do what I can to keep myself safe. But this is about protection and safety. If this person is acting or speaking in a way that makes you feel like they could harm you or will harm you again, that is imminent danger. And those are the things that the judge needs to understand that's going on. Try to stay within the most recent acts of violence. But if there's been a long history of repeated violence or escalating violence over time, you can also indicate those things there. If your story lasts longer than the lines given here, you can select this box here and refer to supplemental form number 3, which if you scroll down, you will see that another whole page is dedicated to your story. This is all about divorce. If divorce is pending, indicate yes and state where. If a divorce has been granted, state yes and indicate where again, but do note that you will need to provide the court with documentation so they can have a good understanding of the whole picture of the situation between you and the person you're filing against. And they need to be aware of any special orders or condition that deals with child custody or visitation. Now, this section only allows you to put 2 children that you have in common with the abuser. However, if there are additional children, you can list them on supplemental form number 4 and select this box here. Paragraph number 9 is very similar to the language found on the ex parte document that you'll be printing off for court. This is you asking the court to consider special orders to increase the protection and safety of you and the person you're filing against. This first section is you asking the court to prohibit the person from harming you, stalking you, harassing you, following you, or threatening you whatsoever. The second selection indicates that you would wish that they stop contacting you. This is by phone, through text messages, social media, or sending messages through other people to you. This third selection indicates that you wish that they stay a certain distance away. Most of the time, you will commonly see that judges will put 100 yards in this part. That's about the equivalency of a football field. In this section, however, remember the safety and welfare of you and your family and what's best for you. As you look down, these following sections indicate that you wish for the court to protect the property that is owned by both of you and the respondent, so that they don't dispose or transfer that property without your permission. It's also asking for you to have the residence that you and the respondent may have shared together at one point. If that is true for you, you can indicate that address here and select this box. For these remaining sections, you're asking the court to make sure that law enforcement is present when the abuser comes to get their personal belongings. This means medications, uniforms for school or work, and other items that are needed for daily living. You can also ask for the respondent to pay for the court costs, and you can leave it open for the court. If they see additional things that need to be considered, select this box here. Paragraph 9 only should be considered if you're filing in Chancery or County Court. This has to do with custody, temporary visitation, monetary support, and restitution paid for losses or damages as a direct result of the abuse that took place. Paragraph 10 is the court needing to know if there are any other protection orders filed at this time between you and the respondent. If there are none that you know of, you can simply print none at this time and select this box here, and that's all you have to write for this page. Here's supplemental form 1 that I spoke of earlier regarding additional people that need to be protected in the home, or if you're filing in behalf of somebody who cannot complete this form on their own. Supplemental form 2 is given here. This is the address confidentiality I mentioned earlier, where the court needs to know how to get in touch with you, but you are wishing for the abuser to not know where you now reside. Here's that additional form 3 for your story of the abuse that is occurring between you and the respondent. Supplemental form is used for additional children, which is more than 2, that you have in common with the person you're filing against. I do want to share that if this process becomes overwhelming or intimidating, or you're just not sure what your next step should be, you can always call Care Lodge and ask for an advocate at 601-482-8719, and we'll do our absolute best to make sure you feel safe and supported through this process. Thank you.